Hello, it's Lou Collins, and today I'm going to be working with another free downloadable template for your cards from Craft World. This one was actually in issue 202 of Papercraft Essentials, and it's a surprise pop-up card. The card, the finished card, will look something like this. So it will all close up and then it will open up and have these surprise little pockets, and it will stand on its own as well. A really fun, beautiful and professional looking card. I'm also going to incorporate plain cardstock as always, a few florals and sequins there, but also the Polar Christmas paper pad from CraftStash. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is just adhere our template to our cardstock. As I always do, I use a removable adhesive, spray adhesive, and I'm going to cut through both the template and the cardstock. Now for this I've just used a white cardstock, and then you're also going to need another panel of a different colour. You're not going to use this just yet, but just make sure you've got your two different cardstocks put to the side. So the white is going to be the predominant colour. The blue that I've chosen is going to sit underneath, and that's going to peek through those little pockets. So just cutting around the edge of the template here using my trimmer. This is one of the new trimmers from the Creative Craft Products brand. Absolutely love it, because as you can see, I can clearly see whereabouts I am cutting. Now there is a scoring tool on here as well if you want to use that, but I'm going to show you another craft product that I absolutely love, that's quite new, and that's the Creative Scoreboard. So I'm going to take my scoring tool out of there, and I'm going to score along all these lines. Now just be careful with this template, because we do have some arrows with measurements. They're not score or cut lines, just so you know, they are just measurement lines. So then I'm going to score all the dotted lines. Again, make sure you're just doing the dotted lines. So there's two down straight, and then we have diagonal ones, and I always prefer with the diagonal ones to bring them to the very end here of, there we go, of the cardstock, or of the board rather, so the last line that's on the scoreboard, because I just find this easier to line up with that last line than it is to try and line up with a line that's in the middle here and know that you've got it perfectly straight. So I'm going through some quite thick cardstock here, so just being careful to make sure I stay within the scoreboard. So I've got 1, 2, and I've already got my line down there, so then I need to do my diagonals this side as well. So a cross shape here. Now there are matting and layering templates for this card, but once you've created your base, you can quite easily then create the mats and layers using this and cutting it out. There we go. Okay, if I turn that over, I can see I've got my crosses, and I've also got my score lines down the middle as well there. This should be a diamond in the middle that's untouched. So like I say, just ignore that measurement line going through the center. Now I'm going to peel this off gently. So this was a repositionable cardstock. Pop my scoreboard to the side, and I'm going to just place this onto my cardstock that's a different colour that I've chosen. So this is a lovely blue. The way I chose the colour was I've already gone ahead and decided on my backing papers, and they are these ones. So that blue will work really well. We'll look more at those papers in just a moment. And I'm just going to once again trim around this template, making it exactly the same size. We don't need to do the cutting or rather the scoring into this one, just cut around the edge. You just need the solid piece for now. Okay, so I'm going to pop that just to the side, and I'm going to work on this one. So actually take my template off, so that's popped to the side for now, because what I now would like is these diamond and triangles to be cut from my backing paper. So pop that up. I'm going to place this just on here, making sure that it fits. And for this, rather than using my trimmer, because my trimmer's more easy with straight lines than it is with diamonds and diagonal lines, I'm going to use my hand scissors, and I'm going to cut around these. There's one. There's another. You could probably do this carefully so that you waste a little less of the pattern paper. There we go. So I've got my center panel there, and then I'm going to use the 2 outer triangles on this panel of cardstock here to cut these 2. So just having a look, I think I'm going to put one just there. So I've still got some sticky on my template, so I need that outer triangle. You can also do the same with these triangles as well, because they'll be left over. It's entirely up to you how much you decorate this. If I take that away, that's there. Peel this off, and then I've got the other side to do as well. There we go. It's really worth investing in a good pair of large scissors for jobs like this, where it's not really worth you getting your trimmer out for, but you can cut nice big long straight lines. The bigger they are, the easier it is. Okay, so I've got my 3 sections there. Next I need to just tidy these away, and I need to do the folding. So take these off again for a moment. Now with the folding, we've actually got on the template, we've got mountain and valley, so you can see which folds are mountain and which ones are valley. So if you just fold those up, the 2 straight lines are going to be mountains, so they're going to come up towards you, and just fold everything else as a valley. There we go. So there's the dip, there's another dip, and the same, and the same. So you've got this shape here. Now what you'll find is once you adhere this on to your card base, these panels here will lift up. So let's just bring this over, and we'll be gluing the 2 end pieces on there like so, and then we'll have those, as you can see, those triangles will then lift up. Now on the blue panel, we want to just do 2 folds. So I'm just going to bring my white panel down slightly, and I'm going to mark on the blue where these horizontal lines are. 1 and 2. And then I'm going to bring my scoreboard back in, and we're just going to score those 2 lines, none of the crosses this time. There's 1. And there's 2. Now I don't know if you remember me saying on the white panel, the 2 vertical lines, they were mountain folds. Well, this time they're going to be valley folds. So 1 and 2. So it's forming like a gatefold there for you. And what we're going to do is just pop this. So now we can really see that opening in there. And as you fold, it can all close. Isn't that fun? How easy is that? Okay, so what we need to do now is apply some glue. I'm going to use a wet glue. We can pop it to the back of the diamond and the triangles. So I'm going to bring in my favourite wet glue to use is, I've got Scissors Express glue in here at the moment. I'm actually trying out some different glues at the moment with my CraftStash, so I'm hoping to be able to bring you some other brands that I've fallen in love with very soon. So just using my Pink Frog glue applicator as well, and popping glue all over the back here. I'm using quite a lot of the glue because I'm going on to Adorable Scoreable, which is from Hunky Dory. That's the blue cardstock that I've got, and this has a coating on it, a bit of a sheen to it, and it just means that this is it takes a little bit longer for glue to grab to it because it's not such a porous surface. So we can lay that down completely flat, make sure that that diamond in the middle and those triangles on the outside are adhered well, and if you need to, just pop something heavy on that. While that's laying flat and just grasping, I can then place in my coloured panels. So this is the paper that I chose. Now this is from a paper pad from CraftStash called Polar Christmas, and they've got some beautiful backing papers in the collection, and they've also got some fantastic toppers as well, one of which I'm going to be using, that you can cut out and use on your projects. You can see how that works really well with that blue on the inside. So I've cut out a topper from the Polar Christmas papers. I've used the 6x6, but there is 8x8 as well. So whatever your preferred cardstock or paper, patterned paper choice, we have it there for you. So just popping this onto the edge. This glue is super sticky, but I just want to move that ever so slightly. And then the same on this edge as well. There we go. Pop that onto that edge like there. So now my glue has secured on the edges and in the middle. As I close my card, as you can see, everything folds down flat. Now you may want to take a bone folder and secure those folds. And as it pops open, you have that surprise colour in between. Of course, it will all stand on its own, but it's a lovely looking card. Now we just need to place some pieces in the middle, some embellishments. You could do the edges as well. I wouldn't put too much on here though, because of course, when you close it, you're going to want to close it flat, maybe pop a ribbon around the outside or something like that. So I'm going to use a hot glue because I've got some paper florals that I'm going to put, but I'm going to make sure that everything is pushed down quite flat. So I've got flowers that are like this that are quite 3D. I'm not going to use those. I'm going to bring in some flowers and a few sequins here that are actually much flatter and place those around. So still sticking with a lot of the blues, put one up there. And I'm actually purposely pushing this down as much as possible as I work with it as well. Just a little bit of glue. Hot glue can become quite dimensional if you don't flatten it down, so just be careful to do that rather than leaving it really prominent. There we go, some whites in there as well. White flowers. If you're thinking about buying paper flowers, I would absolutely say go for white because they will go with absolutely any project you're working on. And then I've got some different colour blues as well. So mixing these, and then what I'll also do is add in some gold sequins. That will just finish off the decoration around this sentiment. We don't need a lot else. If you want to put maybe some ribbon strips along the two edges, you can do. There's another little blue flower. Let's pop that on there. And then I have the gorgeous gold sequins. You can't beat a bit of gold sequin at Christmas time. So scatter those around. Maybe another one just up here. Now I've not gone in and done any of the inking that I'd usually do and things like that. I've just decorated the centre. Now that will still fold flat, and as I say, you can decorate these panels on the back and on the outside as well if you want to. Maybe pop a piece of ribbon, but when they open it up, they have this lovely card shape there that has all the decoration in the middle. You can put as much as you like. You could even put decoration panels in here if you want to as well, and the same on the underneath. That will stand on its own, and it's just a really fun card shape that's a little bit different and it looks really professional.